Hello and welcome to the Who's Jungle. The clash between the Castleford Tigers and the Warrington Wolves. It's second and third in the competition so far. The weather is beautiful again. The sun is out, and it'll be an interesting afternoon to see what Warrington and Castleford can serve up here this afternoon. Here come the home side, and well, as we say, this game could be a tight one, with I say second and third place. It's well, both sides will want to try and catch the Catalan Dragons, but as they seem to be running away with the league at the moment. Well, we're about to get underway. And away we go. And Castleford are McShane. He runs it back here. And here they go again. And Millington, McShane again. Is at dummy half this time. And oh, when it's picked off, it's going to be a score, and that is not the start that Castleford would have wanted. Warrington have scored the first score of and Curry, Ben Curry, the no relation to the Curry twins in Rugby Union, but he scores under the posts, right Windrop. Windop is the goal kicker. I think that's how you pronounce his name. 2 minutes gone. Warrington are about to be 6-0 up here at Castleford, and they are. It's 6-0 to Warrington, and that was, well, that's a bit of a sucker blow for Castleford. They thought, well, here is Eden. Well, no, this is away it goes. Now that's a penalty to Warrington. And waiting for the restart. And the question really is, what can Castleford stop giving away? And that is where Castleford is trying to. And here we go again. Absolutely. Oh, here we go again. Well, here we are. And Warrington are on the Castleford line again, and well, it could have been. Oh, and I think Warrington have scored. I think Warrington have got the ball down. Well, the referee's going to check though, and yes, it is. It's a score for Warrington, and that yeah, it's didn't take much checking really. Warrington are now 10-0 up, and with a kick to come. I didn't take much notice who scored the try, to be fair, to be honest. Never mind. But it's 10-0, and well, Windop is about to kick the conversion, and does, and it's 12-0 Warrington. So Castleford need to get some ball, and 6 minutes gone, and well, this is not the start that Castleford would have wanted. 2 ventures for Warrington into the Castleford half, and 2 tries. So well, not much work do Castleford have to do here. Hill makes it up makes a few yards there, and now off. And defensively they're just all over the show at the moment. Castleford and well, here we go again. Lineman is just and it's here, and they're just they're managing to float the ball, but this time Castleford are managing to pin them back a little bit. It's the 5th tackle on the 40, and we'll see what sort of kick. Well, no, they're playing it. Now that might be a bad decision, because it's going to be the handover now to Castleford. So Castleford have possession of the ball inside the Warrington half, and McShane makes the move from dummy half. Truman, and Truman doesn't make any sort of yards there. So here we go again. Now there's Milner, McShane. And they're not really making any inroads here, are Castleford. Well, it's on the 4, on the 30. On the Warrington 30, it's going to be a, well, it's the last tackle. I think Castleford have... Oh, and the mischief. Well, they were trying something, they just tried anything really, and it just didn't come off for Castleford. And they're making... Well, Cooper's made it up to the 30, with Warrington in possession of the ball, and Warrington make a break. Oh, and that, well, what was happening there? It was Castleford got hold of the ball, and well, it was a bit of a knock. It was a knock on apparently. So Warrington have the ball back. Warrington will be disappointed there, because I think they were away and could have been in again, and that would have been a whole mountain to climb. Even though there is a long way in this game to go, and they're back on the Castleford. London Castleford now. Hill made it up a bit form, but Milner has managed to making that move that little bit further, and I'll tell you. And that, well, I think that's held up. Yes, it is. The referee has deemed that as held up. Here we go again. And 0 tackle, and again. And Castleford making here up to the 40 inside the Castleford half now. Castleford have the ball, and it's again another try. They're just trying everything, and it's just not coming off at the moment. McShane again. What's the pass in? Watts offloads it there. Milner didn't quite have the McShane, and Truman makes it up here to the 5th tackle. So we'll see what and Castleford is, well, just trying to rubber it through, and here we go with Warrington trying to making a break, and Austin just made some yards there in that tackle. Now the question is, can Castleford try and just hold them out, try not to concede anymore? They need ball really to Castleford, and do something with it, but they're not doing anything, and there's a bit of a break on the line for Lynham. And now it's the last tackle, so the kick comes in. On. Oh, and that, well, he tried to pass it down the line, it just didn't happen. Castleford again, well, they were a bit impatient. I think they're a very impatient move. I think they just wanted to get some point, get a try really, just to try and put some pressure back on Warrington, and no, and that's an offside, and that's a soft penalty, and it puts them right back under pressure. It's that feeling that Castleford are about to, well, aren't going to win this, because it just seems they just seem to be second best all the time. And is that a held up? It is. Yes, the referee has seen it held up, so no need for a video ref there. But the question, but Warrington are keeping Castleford under all sorts of pressure, and they're camped on their line at the moment. And we'll see just what Castleford can do. And there's no, again they've been over the line, but again the referee was in the right place at the right time, and this is the last tackle now. Well, Castleford just can't keep hold of the ball at the moment. Well, that's again they've given the ball away in a very dangerous position at the moment. But well, mistakes are made, and Castleford are making the mistakes at the moment. Question is, can Warrington capitalise on these mistakes and put themselves right in that playoff hunt? And that's the 5th tackle, so it's the last tackle again to. No, it's another score. Warrington, Gareth Widop has scored, and that's the way it is. It's simple. It should be another 2 points. Straight and true, and it's straight between the post. Well, here we go. Castleford need to this game's about to restart, and it does, and that's a long kick, and it's gone out on the full, so Warrington get to put the kick ball into touch and get hold of the ball again inside the Castleford half. Bit bizarre, he went for a halfway, but he just kicked it straight out on the halfway, which seems a bit strange, but hey ho, they still have the ball and have the tackles in the bank at the moment to try and put some more points on. Castleford have been absolutely woeful, if we're honest. That looked a bit forward, and that's on. Nobody picked it up. Oh, and that again, another mistake from Castleford. Absolutely shocking. But here we go, and Warrington are keeping Castleford under all sorts of pressure. To be fair, I think I pressed the wrong button. And that's another penalty, and it's another soft penalty, and well, what are Warrington going to do? Are they going to tap it? They are going to tap it, and they're going to play another set of 6, and I wouldn't be surprised if Warrington actually score again, because Castleford are just absolutely under all this pressure, unless they can get hold of the ball. And hey, Castleford actually have the ball now, and but they're behind their own. They're on their own line, and question what do they do? They've got to get their playmakers into the game, and that's the trouble, and that's what they're trying to do. Truman gets up to the 20, and now and again, and another knock on from Castleford, and the knock-ons are killing them at the moment, killing them in this game, and I'd be very surprised if Castleford get anywhere in this game, because they're just not. You wouldn't think they were second against third, would you? You'd think Castleford were nearer the bottom of the table. With that, a tackle is complete, and it's half time here at the Jungle, and Castleford, well, need to do some soul searching at half time to get themselves back in this game, because it's Castleford 0, Warrington Wolves 18 at the Jungle. I think the stats pretty much tell the story. 25% per time in possession to 75 for Warrington Wolves. Not a statistic that will win you a game. Well, here is the second half. Feeden is about to kick this game off, and get this game restarted, and let's see what they've just got to act like it's 0-0 and try and get something out of this. And away it goes, and how far? That just drops in front of the line, and that's another penalty from Castleford, and that is a soft penalty. Windop is about to kick this a bit further down the field for Warrington, so Warrington are going to have the ball back. And I tell you, in the statistics at half time, 25% possession Castleford have had, and that's not good for a home side at all. And Warrington again trying to make it up, then they get up to the 40 after that. Are just trying to inch their way forward, and they're making yards. They're making absolutely, well, they're making 10 or 20. They're making 10 or 20 yards in all this. They're making 10 or 20 yards every time they carry the ball, at least. And they've scored again, and he's plucked it out the air, and Momo has made the score. Well, he kept his eye on the ball. The winger just didn't challenge at all. He thought he was under it, but Momo makes the move, makes the play in the air, and gets the ball and scores. And it's 22-0. And Castleford don't look like they're in this game at all. No, they haven't got out the changing rooms. Castleford, they've had a poor first half, and that has really manifested itself and they're just not recovering at all. They're looking very poor, and well, I'm sure some soul searching might need to be done for Castleford for the rest of the season. The only good thing is it's just a one-off game, and it's a one-off game. It's not. They've got other games to come, so their chances of trying to rectify some of the issues that they've got in this game at the moment, but the problems they have, simple points, coughing up cheap points, coughing up possession, field position, on that. Watts has put the tackle in, and this is Warrington trying to make some yards here, and it's your jumper type rugby at the moment from Warrington. It seems to work, and that is very it is, and they're not making any moves. They're just not making anything. And now they make up some yards here. And now on the fourth tackle, Eden makes a bit of simple. McShane again to make the play. Truman. Oh, and Truman drops it. And that's a 0 tackle. So, and that is, it was coughed up simple ball again. Have Castleford, and well, that's just been the story of the game. We've played 52 minutes, and you'd look at the scoreline and you'd think it'd been one-sided, and you'd be very right. It certainly has. It's been very poor from Castleford. They've just not turned up at all. And it's just made Warrington's have just rolled off the bus and rolled over Castleford completely. Well, here they go again, and it's just not. Well, it's not happening for Castleford. It just hasn't happened at all today. Don't really know why, but they just, nothing they seem to do seems to come off. And they make a break. And McShane was given the ball, and he just didn't seem to do anything. Eden makes a bit of a break there, and they're just, here's Truman, makes no yardage. They're on the halfway line. What do they do? Well, they've got to try something. They're just trying to dribble it through, but it's just not happening. Nothing's really happening for Castleford. They're looking very dejected, a very dejected team, to be fair. I'm sure their heads are probably. Hopefully this is a one-off and not going to be a pattern that emerges with games to come, but well, that looked like a knock-on. It is a knock-on, and finally Warrington do something wrong. Truman. And Truman, well, passes it, but the player that he was passing to wasn't quite ready, and it goes back to Warrington, and Warrington start putting some yards in and start working their way up the pitch again. And this is not, well, they're just trying to get down the channel and trying to stop things happening, but it's just not happening for Warrington and for Castleford. Sorry, they're just not making any sort of inroads, and the playoffs. Well, anybody that gets Castleford in the playoffs won't really be too worried if they're getting it's up and under, and that is. Here it is again. They're making a break there, but McShane up dummy half. Eden makes up there, and he's just not making yards. I mean, they're making what? They're making probably 10 at best. Making 10 yards at 10 yards at most. And Warrington are making like 15-20, and they're not even out their own half here, and they've got to try something. Truman, well, he chipped it through, gathered it, and it didn't happen. Nothing's really working for Castleford. Oh, and they made a break again. Ratchford gets stopped though this time, and making some more yards, and it's easy yards. They're managing to drive in the tackle, which is really not helping the Castleford cause. They're making easy yards, and Castleford are very poor indeed here this afternoon. It's been a long it's been a long game so far, and I've made probably a handful of mistakes. They're probably well into double figures in the Castleford mistakes here this afternoon, and they make a little bit of Eden drops the ball. That's not helping at all. Again, Shane puts the tackle in, and this is just it's the constant work rate in defence that they're having to put in, and it's just not helping their and that it's another score. It's easy, straight through the middle, and it's a score for Blake Austin. And he makes it look simple, and the porous of defence is really starting to it's starting to look very, very bad indeed. And Warrington are going to kick the extras, and they do. And Warrington have put yeah. And here we go, and away it goes, and well, with 7 minutes, it's going to be a long 7 minutes for Castleford to hang on. They'll want to get a consolation, but I don't think they will, because the defence, they've just not created anything. And here we go again, and Austin's away again, and he gets inside the 30 on the second tackle, so they've still got a few tackles to go. And it's another score, and Murdoch Masala scores, and it's a simple score. They've ripped them apart again, and Castleford's defence really needs to look at itself after today's game. It's been porous. And the kick from Widop, and he scores, and that it's Castleford 0, Warrington Wolves 36. So Warrington will, I would think, we're going into second. Well, it's off the side of the boot, but it stays in field, so that's good. A bit of good news for Castleford, maybe. It may or may not be good news, because it means Warrington get the ball and Warrington can put some more pressure on. So here they go again, and they're starting to tackle. Fourth tackle, and Warrington are gonna. Well, they're not going to see this out. Kicking on the fourth, that's quite a... and it's in touch on the full. Now, there's something, a novelty in this game. Warrington making a mistake, and I say I could probably count on one hand how many mistakes Warrington have made today. I probably ran out of fingers and toes for Castleford mistakes. Oh, Castleford tried to offload it, and it didn't happen. Warrington are going to see out the game with the ball, and well, they're just playing the time now. Surely one more tackle, and that would be that, and that is the one more tackle. That's it. That's the game over, and Warrington have taken an easy 2 points from Castleford here at the Jungle today. Absolutely gutted Castleford. And in the match, it wasn't the defeat that would hurt so much. Well, of course, defeats always hurt, but it's the manner of the defeat. It was absolutely woeful. As I say, the stats don't even look any better at full time. Blake Austin got man of the match. I'm a bit surprised by that. I thought the goal kicker might have got it, but no, Blake Austin was the player of the match, and say that's the mistakes is probably the errors. I say 17-5, so we can almost count on one hand there. So it's been a tough game for Castleford here this afternoon. They didn't look the best. They probably looked like a bottom of the table side rather than a challenging for the playoff side. So these are the results from round 22. Wigan 12, Leeds Rhinos 0. We've got Hull KR 20, Salford City Reds 24, Hull FC 14, St Helens 18, Huddersfield Giants 2, Toronto Wolfpack 28, we've got the Dragons 34, Wakefield Trinity 6, and we've got of course, as we've just seen, Castleford Tigers 0, Warrington Wolves 36. So the table are the Catalan Dragons are at the top, 4 points clear of now Warrington Wolves, who are now gone to second. Castleford dropped to third. We've got Hull FC in fourth. Toronto Wolfpack are in fifth. At the bottom, well, let's look at what a few weeks makes. Huddersfield Giants are now bottom on 12 points. Leeds Rhinos are second bottom on 11th with 14, and Salford City, who have been bottom for most of the season, are now 10th on 14 points, same as Hull KR. And well, to be honest, even more, Wigan probably aren't out of the woods, but could still. But there's a long way to go, as we say. A few extra rounds this season due to things